Hello, 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 hello. Alright. It took me 20 minutes to make up the courage to do this. So let's hope this first audio recording goes well. Episode 1 through 5. No audio because I don't got courage. So we're on chapter 5X. I'm not going to use Orson at all. For the most part, because there's no reason to. He leaves after this chapter. I will empty his inventory by the end of this chapter. He's there to be a mini convoy, as well as a baiter if I need him to be. I don't like Ford. I don't like Kyle that much either. I've always found them to be not as good as I hoped they would be. It doesn't help that you only get them in this chapter and then they don't join until chapter 8. See, they missed out on 7 chapters of leveling, which they could use, and oh boy, do I wish Kyle got some better levels. He gains 4 levels during this chapter, and I think besides HP, only 4 stats increased by 1, and most of them were on his final level up. And as is written in the description for the video, I will be doing Eirika split, so Ephraim doesn't need a ton of training, but I still give him levels regardless because he's going to be needed in chapter 8, because when he joins it's him, Ford, and Kyle on one side of the map, unless I send people that way. And Ephraim's just, in my opinion, a good unit. I love Personal. It's so much better than Rapier because of the lance. Man, I really suck at this. So, intentionally the whole goal, and for me for this chapter, was to get as much XP on Ford and Kyle as I could, and a little bit for Ephraim. Just so I can decide if I'm going to use them or not. And because of this decision, I gave Kyle way more XP than was needed based on the first couple levels ups he get, and I should have probably just abandoned it. But he has enough, all the characters in this map have good enough stats at base to fight at basically any enemy on this map. Whether that's because they have good bases or the enemies have shitty stats, it's probably because the enemies got shitty stats. Really the only thing going for most enemies on this map is they have a good HP pool. And that's what makes it not so easy. Well, it's still easy, but they can survive one round of combat until your people start getting some speed level ups. And it doesn't help that I don't think they have a single Iron Lance between all of them, so they're all being weighed down by the Steel Lance. Only one Javelin in the group, so I only have one option for range. It's only got 20 uses. And there's a Killer Lance, a bunch of Elixirs, some Vulneraries. It's mostly just a map of slowly, at least on hard, slowly making your way through. It'd be way faster to use Orson, but I don't see the need. He's not needed to beat the map, even on hard. It's not that hard, honestly. So I think I'm contradicting myself at some point during this. But Orson leaves after this chapter, so there's no point in giving him any XP. He's not coming back to join the group. He's a traitorous bastard. I should probably check enemy stats more often. I realize while playing this. There's a lot of times I don't check to see how much damage exactly my people are going to take. A few times I do, I'm like, oh, okay, they'll survive without just not paying attention to their HP. My characters all make it through. That doesn't mean it was a good, because I've had there's multiple times you'll see that a character drops to low HP. Ford at one point drops to exactly 1 HP. I did the math. Okay, he takes 10 damage. Forgetting he only had 11 HP. Luckily he had 11 HP and survived. And there's also a time Ford's still sitting at that 1 HP where I put him in range of an enemy intending to pop an elixir. Moved him, equipped the weapon I wanted equipped, and then didn't pop the elixir. And then got lucky that he survived because then we missed. It's weapon triangle. God, I really suck at this. far from optimized, obviously. I've beaten this game only once, on normal. And on hard, I've only ever played basically to chapter 12, I think, on Emblem route. Just because I have a bad habit of starting Fire Emblem games and then ending. And boy, did I get lucky at that 57. Kyle would survive. I thought I'd take the risk. I have 2 other characters or 3 other characters that can reach the enemy if I need it, which happens a lot during this chapter. And I was getting lucky rolls in the early. I was hitting these 57s and these like 43s, just stuff you just can't rely on. I was relying way too much on luck in the early. And it came back to bite me in the ass. And I was punished by Kyle's level ups as well, with his plus 1 HP, plus 1 HP in skill, plus 1 HP types of level ups. I don't know what to say. This map is fairly straightforward. There's 1 way, 2 ways to go when you get to the area on the right half of the screen. You can go down the left or the right side, but it ultimately doesn't matter. I generally go down the left side because it's less movement to take. Man, I just find that archer to be a bitch on the right side. I hate him. Well, I shouldn't have said that. And look, there's the Kilo Lance. That's nice. I think I used it once during this chapter. Could have used it. Didn't feel the need, because most of these enemies die in 2 hits, besides the first couple. Even then, some of the first couple die in 2 hits. But like all the soldiers, 1-rounded by any of the characters. Cavaliers and Armored Knights aren't that great either, especially the ones with swords, because your entire group can use lances, and the weapon triangle just makes it so much easier. There's what, 3 magic users on the map, but one of them uses light magic? Yeah, that's a real threat. The 2 darks can be dangerous, but they don't have great stats. They're only in chapter 5X. The biggest threats, I guess, the axe wielders, because I don't switch the swords often enough. Archers are just annoying because I only have 1 javelin to deal with them. I really don't know what to talk about. I think I said it already, but the grand strategy for me on this map was just bait a couple enemies at a time, deal with the enemies, move on to the next group, heal when necessary, which I would generally try to wait until I could only survive, another 1 hit and then I'd die on a 2nd hit, or if I would die on the next hit. I don't have a healer. I only have so many vulneraries and elixirs to use, and I use up all my vulneraries and only a couple elixirs, but the enemies don't do tons of damage. They mostly do on average between like 4 and 6, so most of all the characters you have could survive 3, 4, 5 hits from people. So you're never in real danger unless you send them off at low HP into groups of enemies. But the enemies are spread out throughout the map, so it makes it a little easier to not get caught in a bunch of group of enemies. Oh boy, 4 leveled up. Skill, speed, it's good. I wish he got some strength. He's still sitting at 7. And 7's not great, but you know what? He's getting better level ups than Kyle. Better level ups than Orson, because Orson's not leveling up. I mean, like a Cavalier, it's doing 2 damage because of the weapon triangle. How am I supposed to view that as a threat? I have plenty of healing items. And the only reason I view it as a threat is I left my character low HP. Like here, I know Ford only going to take 2 damage. He does 12. I can set up a kill for another character. So I set it up for Kyle. If I remember right, yeah. Here's Kyle. Go Kyle, go. And you know, he hits, gets his XP, no level, but you know, 32 XP, more than he had before. Move Ephraim over, just closer and closer to enemies, cook the ring with, because you know, the armor's gonna hit me, might as well one-shot them back, because these armors are a joke, 23 HP, I do 27 because of effective damage. It's almost like these armors shouldn't even be there, but they gotta give a reason to make people want to use the Ringolith. Though it's not even necessary. The armors don't do tons of damage. It did, what, 7? And even with the Steel Lance, Ephraim does somewhere between 7 and 10 back times 2. So they can 3-shot the Armor Knight if necessary. So he just finishes it on player phase. He used the area to split, but there's no point in going to the right side. It's more movement, which isn't needed. Sure, you've got mostly Cavaliers. They'll make it, they're fine. I put Ephraim in the location he is now because I know he could get hit by multiple enemies, but he's got 17 HP and the enemies are doing 4, 5, or 6 damage. I know he can only get hit by 2, so even if he kills the first one, he'll live. The enemies don't have any crit in this map. So I know I can safely put Ephraim there. He'll survive the round of enemy phase, won't be in danger. And just slowly make my way through. Like, look, he took a potential 6 damage. Took 2 damage, really, because that first lance missed. And then he gets a crit and finishes them off. Nice weapon rank increase, which is always good. Give another kill to Kyle. I want him to get XP. I find him better than Ford. Hope for a good level up, and I am rewarded with not that. I mean, speed's nice. It helps him get closer to doubling more enemies, but no strength, no skill, no defense. Not a great level up. So here I'm checking all my characters' inventories, figure out who's got what exactly, who's got what healing items, who's holding onto the javelin at the moment. Checking the enemy damage, see he has 12 attack, Ford has 2 res, okay, he'll take 10 damage. Alright, that's not a lot. I can put Ford in range with the javelin and he'll be fine. Oh, I can't heal him. Oh, I didn't equip the javelin either, so yeah, I put the javelin on him, completely forgetting he's sitting at all 11 HP at the moment. Until this screen popped up, I'm like, oh, well, aren't I lucky? Which is what I should be relying on in Fire Emblem. Surprisingly, Ford doubles. I forget how slow dark magic users are in this game. Ford levels up and gets only speed. Again, better for doubling, but if I'm only getting 1 stat, it's not looking great. So I'm figuring out, alright, Ford's at low HP, I can't have him doing the baiting with against the ranged enemy, so I'll give Javelin to Kyle, let Kyle go out and do it. I'm thinking, where did any other enemy ranges? No one else can get to Kyle, right? I should have checked this beforehand, but I didn't. But I know where I want to put Ford so I can bait another enemy out, but I'm reminded he's at 1 HP. And I don't have any healing items on him besides a vulnerary, which I'm not liking him sitting at 11. But I've got 2 elixirs on Ephraim, and Ephraim's missing not as much, so I'll just trade the vulnerary for the elixir. Heal Ephraim up to full, move Ford down with 1 HP, forgetting to pop the elixir. And I wasn't paying attention, and didn't even realize he was sitting at 1 HP. I was looking at my phone at this time during enemy phase, thinking, oh, I'm fine, because my units are tanking enough, the enemies don't do enough damage. When I looked back at my screen, seeing that Ford's at 1 HP, and I'm thinking to myself, what the hell happened? Did he get crit when I wasn't paying attention? No, it was just me forgetting to heal him, and then him luckily dodging a hit as I'm checking now the enemy stats, his situation, thinking, man, I'm an idiot. I check, I can kill him this hit with a 98% chance, and I'm sitting at 1 HP, and I'd rather not risk it. Kyle misses 70% on the javelin, but he'll survive another enemy phase, so it doesn't matter. There's no ranged people in turn to him. So rather than risk Ford attacking and missing a 98 and dying, I'll pop an elixir on him and just have him wait the turn and kill him on that enemy phase again. Which works. Ford's alive, enemy's dead. Still at full HP because enemy missed again, but rather than risk it, I decided better play it safe, because I've been playing safe for a lot of parts now, as I'm over halfway through the map and the enemies aren't threatening, so I lose focus slightly. So I'm just slowly working my way down the map, baiting 1 or 2 enemies at a time, healing my characters because they're getting the single digits. Moving Orson along the back just to be there to trade or rescue if he's needed. Wishing Kyle had more speed to double and nurture, but you know, his level ups haven't been great. Looking at Ford, he could double with the sword, but I'd rather use the lance to get his lance rank higher, because swords aren't great. I mean, they're accurate, but what's your 1 to 2 range? Just not that many. There's what, the light brand? No thanks. Checking the overlapping ranges between the brigade and the mage, thinking I could bait 2, but I don't have anyone I want to bait both with. I could have checked the mage's damage to see that it's not ultimately threatening, and I could probably have gone forward to make it go by faster. But I decided just to bait him out individually. Ephraim got a good level up, strength, speed, defense, all good stats he needs. I'm thinking, it's only 70%, I've missed 70% before, but I've got all 3 other characters there, so if Ephraim misses, I can finish him off with someone else, which Ephraim does miss, but kind of does just enough damage, and a 100% chance to hit with Iron Sword just to finish up Soldier, Brigade. What are they? No, it's a fighter. God. And now he's in the mage's range, so I switched him over to the javelin so he can counterattack an enemy phase. I'm checking where that armor knight can go, and it's nowhere close to my group, but only person left to move is Orson, so I don't want to put him in range anyways. Another Kyle level up, which is met with disappointment as it's only HP again. His stats aren't looking that much better than base. Not that he needs better than base to clear this map, but I would like some better stats for later in the game. But that can always be solved in other ways. And he's in arguably the best class in the game, being he's in the Cavalier class to promote the Paladin, and I mean, do you really need anything but a Paladin to beat this game? I mean, Seth can beat the game by himself. Do I need anyone else? I haven't used Seth that much. I've tried not to. And right here, all I'm doing is reorganizing inventories, topping Kyle back off to closer to full HP, baiting out the Armored Knight. Thinking, alright, it's just 1 Armored Knight. I'm down to 6 enemies left on the map. I can beat him off, send someone off to deal with the 3 people on the right side, and then have someone start dealing with the people in the middle. So I'm figuring out who should I do what with, looking at their HPs, looking at their inventories, looking at their stats real quick, see who's got which situation. Ford's significantly faster and Kyle's slightly stronger. So I don't have Ford deal to 2 soldiers and the mage. I'll send mage. And I'll send after trading. No, I'm not trading. I'll send Kyle off to go deal with the 2 soldiers and the archer over on the right side of the map. Thinking their soldiers are going to do 4, maybe 5 damage to him. He's got 22 HP. They're not going to double him, but I think he'll double them. He'll be perfectly fine to take them both on. If not, the other character's right there to help him. He can easily retreat. I didn't check the ranges on the enemy soldiers by the throne, not realizing Ford was still outside of the range by 1 tile, so I'll have to wait till next turn to deal with that. But like I said, they do 5 damage to Kyle. He does 18, 17 or whatever times 2, so he's 1-rounding them. He's down to 13 HP. He got hit by both, but it's not a big deal. All that's left for him to deal with now is that archer. I want to give him the javelin ideally, so he can, because he's not going to be able to reach the archer. As I'll start checking. Seeing he's too short, he can't hit him with the javelin either, but I can bait him out with the javelin. Checking ranges on everyone. I can put forward 1 tile up. He'll bait both soldiers without baiting the mage, because I want to deal with the mage separately. Sending Kyle over with the javelin to bait the archer. Orson is just going to sit there, because there's no point in using him. It's fighting soldiers, there's not a lot at risk here unless I was at low HP, but I've got still almost all my elixirs out of vulneraries at this point, I believe I was. But now down to 3 enemies, thinking I've got this map, as long as nothing drastic happens I won't die. I'm thinking to myself, at this point I definitely should have been checking enemy damages more often, as I'm looking at 4 to 10 HP going, it's not bad, he'll live another 3 shots from that archer, but there were definitely other times I should have been checking more closely, and I'm finally rewarded for my patience with a good Kyle level up, and it was beautiful, but I'll never see a good level like that again, I'm thinking. So now I'm checking, Ford can kill the mage in 1 round. But if he misses, the mage kills him in 2 hits, and seeing how my luck has been going so far in this later half of the map, I figure it's safest just to bait him out of Orson, so I have multiple characters around to deal with him in case Ford misses. So it's the one thing Orson does for me on this map besides be a walking convoy. Baits out this mage, earns his 1 XP, and now he's retired. So I go for Ford, thinking, alright, he's got 85% chance to hit, he should be fine. I've got Ephraim sitting right there in case he misses, which he does. Which is a sad thing. I was hoping to get him an extra level, but... So I'm thinking, alright, Ephraim is in 2 hits, but he does double. I can kill him. Is there any way to make sure Orson has a weapon as well? I'm thinking, but I have no way to trade that silver sword back to him. So I decided to switch to his personal weapon, getting that 100% hit just to safely kill the mage without having to risk it. Move Kyle back towards the rest of the group, thinking, who do I want to give the kill to? Look who's at the best situation. See, Ford and Kyle are at 10 and 9 HP. Ephraim doubles with his personal, has a high hit. Dies in 2 hits, so I'll wait the first turn, let the enemy go first, which I'm glad I did, because even though he's a 38% chance to hit, he lands. So I leave it to Ephraim. I will just pop an elixir on him, wait another turn, let the enemy kill himself on enemy phase, and then seize in the next player phase. Orson has been relieved of all his weapons. I've got everything. I'm just double checking everyone's inventories, getting them set up for when they return in Chapter 8, thinking I'll even out, they'll balance out their inventories a little bit, give Ford the javelin, leave the kill lance on Kyle. And then let the enemy heal himself, because thrones are nice. He misses this time, Ephraim lands his. I've killed the last enemy on the map. All I've left to do is siege. And then return to Eirika and fight some monsters. Oh great. Well, that's it for this episode. Let's hope I get more confident in my ability to speak. Bye bye.